Well, this is going to be a fun topic to discuss. My employers are a very strange lot, openly discussing and engaging in things that many regular people condone. Although, kinda thinking about it, in their line of work, being unorthodox is probably one of the main things they seek in their work stuff. I'm saying this because the next game that I saw my employers play, and the one that I actually enjoyed both watching and taking part in, is Succubus Wars or Sakuibazu no Tatakai. Why did a Western developer chose this pseudo-Japanese bullshit name, we will never know. Sakui tells us a story about a daughter of Satan named Eveloria that conquered the entire hell via the almighty powers of fucking and challenged her father for the crown, only to be stripped all of her powers and dumped on some devil's forsaken rock for 1,000 years, jerking off random low-level demons until one of her sisters finds her with a desire to violently murder her for doing things that I am sure is someone's fetish. And now our brave succubus has to kill, corrupt, and fuck her way through hell once again to take what's rightfully hers. Oh, I also forgot to tell you, this is a porn game. Now that all the babies have left the room, let us continue. There are two games in this series, both differ in their gameplay. The first one is more of a 2D action game, while the second is a lane turn-based strategy game, but they share one major thing, in that both of these games are ridiculously hard and actually require a bit of skill to play. In the first one, you start with effectively zero skills, weapons and such, and must kill enemies for souls that are then used to upgrade your character's skills, weapons and such. You level up for every 100 souls, which is the game's way of telling you, grind more, bitch, or else you're dead. Your skills are usually bought in the game menu or unlocked after beating a certain boss or a mini-boss, and like all respectable old-school games, in order to beat a boss, you have to actually remember his patterns and use them to your advantage, unlike most modern games where you can take down almost anything provided that you have enough firepower. The second game is where it gets massive, with you commanding dozens of soldiers against your enemy, and not just regular grunts, but of many races of demons, each having a different special rules and preferred specializations. And if that's not enough for you, there are also mini-quests that require using a specific type of unit to win, a bunch of secret missions that have you play in a specific way in order to get a hero unit, and actually amusing dialogues between different characters, as well as, while not overly new, an interesting take on hell in its landscape. But I hear you ask me, where's the sex? It is a porn game, so it has to have it. And you're right, of course there's sex in the game. In the first one, you rape defeated bosses, and in the second, you have to capture enemy units to gain sex scenes, as well as new recruits into your army, which is a hard task because this can actually cost you a victory. But the funniest part is that sex here is less of a feature and more a reward for killing the fucking boss that obliterated you for like 5-6 times before that. This is what I generally hate in these types of games. Pornographic content in them is usually either a failure state or is effectively the only worthwhile part of the game, and while some might say that's kinda the whole point of a porn game, you know, I call bullshit on that, because a porn game is first and foremost a game and then porn. Otherwise, what's the point of playing it and not going to one of the numerous porn sites and jerk off there? And while I'm not saying that erotic content must be an afterthought in such games, the game has to be fun to play so that the player felt actually rewarded for his hard work, and not deliberately searching for erotica because he has nothing else to do there. When I was playing Sakuibazu both parts, I wasn't thinking about what sort of scene I will jerk off to next. I was learning the patterns and weaknesses of my enemies, and when I finally defeated them, sex was a reward for my suffering, and as a result, much more enjoyable to watch. The games are awesome because they required me to actually think about my actions, not because they had boobies in them. This is why I treat most modern humans as spineless cowards, especially those from the developed countries. Back in my days, acquiring porn of any sort was a matter of meticulous planning, secrecy, and skullduggery, and when you finally gotten those pictures of naked Marilyn Monroe or that tape with erotic striptease, it was considered to be an accomplishment. Nowadays, to get their porn, people go to one of the numerous free online porn video sites, and there's nothing hard in that, unless you consider clicking links to be some sort of sports exercise. And the funniest part is that the porn they have there is not even that good. But people don't care, and why would they? Consumers' job is not caring, it is to consume whatever shit you're getting and asking for more. And those that want to have actually good stuff are doing it the old-fashioned way of contacting producers and actors, writing a script and paying them a lot of dollars for the work. And because of this, erotic production is getting even more stigmatized than before. At least back then it was the matter of morality. Nowadays, many people I know don't talk about porn because it's only for masturbating, why? Which is not only a very declamatory statement, but a bigoted one at best. But I rambled on this topic long enough. Both games, while graphically lacking, are fun to play, and if you like things like Dark Souls and such, then I suggest you at least try them. I personally liked the second game more, but I have a bias towards strategy, so it's not that surprising. As long as it's a strategy, I can do almost anything, even take part in anime community dramas.
There are so many uses of the coconut tree. You can build a bigger house for the family. All you need is to find the coconut man. If he cuts the tree, he gets the fruits free.